Today we'll discuss program number 3. To check whether a number is a perfect number or arms. There are three programs I'm going to discuss individually. So first one is to discuss whether a number is a perfect number. Second is Armstrong number, and third is palindrome. Let us start now. So first one is determine whether a number is a perfect number. Let us understand what they mean by perfect number. So basically, when we talk about a perfect number, it is nothing but if you take the divisors of a number, like if 6 is a number, we'll take the divisors. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 are the divisors. So we have to exclude 6. So if we add these three, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3, we get the answer as 6. So it is the same number what we have got. So definitely it's a perfect number. Okay. Let us understand the program now. What is the logic for this? So initially we'll take the number n. We have to write input for that. We have used the input method for accepting the number, converting it into an integer. We have taken sum1. Now sum1 is a variable which will store the cumulative sum. Now I initially will take the value from 1 to n. So first time it will take 1, then 2, till 6 it should go, because if we are entering 6 over here. Now what we have to check is if that number 6 is divided by, let's say in the first iteration it will be divisible by 1. So yes, it is divisible. Then we have to add I, that is 1 will be added to sum1. In the second iteration, when I will take the value 2, at that time what will happen? We have to check whether 6 is divisible by 2. Yes, it is divisible. So we have to add this 2 to the previous whatever we have got. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And then the next iteration we have to check for 3. So 3 also it is divisible. So we have to add 3 to 6, 3 to 3. So answer is 6. Now for 4 it will not work. For 5 it will not work. Okay, it will go up to 5 only. We have written up to n, so it will be going up to 5. Okay, at the end you will find that okay, the both the numbers, that the original number and the sum one, both are same, so it will print it's a perfect number. Let us run the program. We'll go to Python now. Okay, so it's very simple program. We'll try to run the program now. We'll enter 6. It's a perfect number. You can try for other numbers also. We'll try to execute it one more time. So let's enter 8. It's not a perfect number. Okay, I guess it's very clear. It's not very difficult program. Let's go ahead with the next program. Next program is to check whether it's the Armstrong number. Armstrong number is what? If you take the number as 153, then we have to take the individual digits and we have to take the cube of them. So 1 cube, 5 cube, 3 cube. So what is the answer? You will get is 153. So definitely it's the Armstrong number. Okay. So if you take the cube and of individual digits and add them, you are getting the same number. It's the Armstrong number. So first, what we will do? Just take the program only. It will be easy with the program. Just take the second program. Okay, so let us understand how these things will happen. I'll open Excel just to show you how. Okay, so if the number is 153, okay, we have to take individual digits. So this is 153. So here 1 cube, so it will be what equal to 1 into 1 into 1. The answer is 1. For then cube of 5. So 5 into 5 into 5, which is answer is 125. And then the cube of 3. So 3 into 3 into 3. So if you take the sum of these, we're getting the same number, 153. So definitely it's the this is what is the logic. So we have to take individual digits. Now, how can we take the individual digits? The two things you need to remember. If you want to take the last digit, you have to divide that number by 10. Okay. So if you take the quotient, you will get the last digit. If you take the division sign, you will get the remaining digit. So let me draw the annotation for understanding purpose. Let's take 153 over here. Okay, so here if you are trying to divide by 10, okay, so in the first, because initially what is the value? Let's take the number as 153. Let's say this is my 153. Okay, now sum is 0. This is clear. Sorry, let's just I will take a box and I will keep it. Okay, so this is your number. I'm writing in, and same thing we have stored into temp. So temp is also having the same. Okay, so we are having 153 as a number. In temp also we are having 153. Okay. So here now when we divide, let's see what is the output we are getting. Here we get 5 and we get 3 over here. 10 5 the remainder is 3. So if you take the quotient, this is my quotient, correct? And this is my, if I divide, sorry, if this is my remainder and this is my quotient. So as you can see in the program, okay. So initially the value of sum is what? It is 153. Then we are keeping the temp value also 153. Okay. So temp till temp is because we are going to change the value of temp in each iteration. So digit is going to be what? The, if you take this, 3 will be the, that is the last digit will be taken. 3. And then what we are doing, we are adding this sum is equal to sum plus digit raised to 3. This is exponential sign. So digit raised to 3 means 3 raised to 3 is, we have already seen what is that. 3 raised to 3 is 27. Okay, so in the first iteration, you will get the value of sum is 27. Then temp we have to divide. So 15 will be left now. Okay, in the next iteration, we are supposed to take 15. Okay, then next, this will continue. So temp is greater than, now because it is 15, it is greater than 0. So now the next digit. So next digit will be what? You simply have to erase this part. So here, if you see here, because it's only 15 over here. Okay. So here you can see the remainder is going to be 5 now and the quotient is 1. So in this case, now the digit which is there is 5. Okay. And this will get added. So it will be 27 plus 5 cubed. So what is the answer for 5 cubed? 5 cubed is 125. So you will have 125 written. Okay. And then this will change because this has to remain only 1 will be remaining. So this way it will continue. 1 is greater than 0. Yes, it will go for the next iteration. Again, we'll divide. So now what will happen? We will get the remainder as 1, which is the last digit. Okay. And then that will be added over here. And definitely, if you take the sum, here when you divide, you will get 0. So the iteration will stop and will come out. Now, when the sum we will try to compare with the number, both are same, and that is the reason we'll say it's the Armstrong number. I guess it is clear. Let's execute the program and see whether it is giving us the correct output. Let's clear the drawing. So here, let's run the program. Let's enter 153. It will say it's Armstrong number. Okay, let's execute one more time. We'll give some other input. We'll give it as 134. So it's not a Armstrong number because one cube is what you just check whether it is given correctly. Okay, this is 3 cubes, so 27 will be there. And for this is 1 only. This is 4 cubes. So 4 cube is 4 4s are 16, 64 are 64. So if you take the sum of this, you are getting 92. But the actual number is what 134. So it's not Armstrong. So it's giving the correct result. Let's go to the next program. Now here also to check whether a number is a palindrome. So here the logic is what? You have to reverse the number. So here again we are using the same kind of concept. We are accepting the number. We'll open the program. What is the logic is we are simply reversing the number. If the number is 153, we will reverse it. Or whatever is the number. If the number is 121, so we will reverse it. And if we are getting the same number, then we'll conclude it's a palindrome. Okay. So logic is same. You are dividing. If you want to take the individual digits, so we have to use the divide sign and the mod sign and the divide sign. This will give you the last digit. This will give you the remaining digits. Only this logic is different. The program is same to the previous program. So let's see now how this will work. Okay. So let's say we are entering a number over here. I'll just execute and show it to you first. Let's say if I'm entering 121, it will say it's a palindrome. Okay. If I'm entering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it will say it's a palindrome. Okay, because it's giving the reverse. If we give something different, so let us run the program one more time. 123, it will say it's not a palindrome. So this is very simple. Okay, let's understand this. So let's take one number. We will take the number as 120 just for simplicity. Okay, let's take the annotation. So as if we divide by 10, what you have to understand is this is the logic how the things are happening actually. 2, 1. Okay, then 2 is there. We are getting 20 over here. Sorry. So this is your mod sign. This is your division sign. So mod sign actually is giving you what? It is giving you the remainder. Whereas divide sign, it is giving you the remaining digits. Okay. So this is what is the logic. Let's start now. Initially the number, let's assume it is, I'm writing hash. Let's say the number is 121. Correct? Now what we are doing in the temp also we are storing the same number. So we will have temp also, let's say 121. Then in reverse, we are initially keeping the value of reverse as 0. Okay. N is greater than 0, yes. So what will happen? The digit value will change. This will become the last digit. What is the last digit? 1. And then what is happening over here? We are actually multiplying that is 0 with 10. So first value is 0 only and digit. So first iteration reverse value will be 1. Okay, and then the next remaining digits will be carried forward. So 12 will be carried forward over here. Okay, now here when it comes in while yes 12 is greater than 0, now the next digit what will be taken? to erase this part. So next digit in this case is going to be what? It's going to be 2 and the remaining thing will be 1. So next digit will be 2 over here. Okay, now this will get multiplied because the reverse 1 into 10 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. So answer will be 12 over here and the remaining digit will be carried forward. So 1 will get carried forward. 1 is greater than 0, yes. So now the next digit. So it will become 1. Okay, and here this will be 12 into 10, which is 120 plus 1. So 121 will be the result. And this will give you a 0 result. So definitely it will break the loop. That is, it will end the loop and it will come here now. Now, if we check the temp value and the reverse value, both are same. So we can say it's a palindrome. Okay. So most of the number programs, they are used to using this technique only. It becomes very easy to find out individual digits. Thank you, everyone.